stage now. We're kind of at the aqueduct stage of this DevOps transformation journey. Like as an industry, like the bleeding edge right now is we kind of have aqueducts now. There's still a lot of people that do this every day, right? There's still a lot of doit5.sh, .old, backspace. Maybe it'll work better this time. Run it. Oh shit, sudo, whatever. It's probably gonna work this time. Has anyone ever worked like that? Anyone ever seen that movie? I did that many times. I did that a lot. But there's also places that are like this, right? Because a lot of stuff that's happening right now is kind of bleeding out of things that are, maybe 10 years old inside of Google or inside of some of these organizations, right? Like they did different things. And there's a similar arc that happens, with other aspects of how we do things, other parts of this. So what I'm going to try to do, because I found another model that's simpler, is give us a simpler model we could talk about. And this is the single loop learning model. Single loop, double loop learning. Does anyone know this stuff? So there's a lot of things out there, talk about cycles, the OODA loop or whatever, Toyota Kata, something, whatever. So the single loop learning is basically this idea that you have a plan and you try to do it. And like you see if your plan's working and you adjust and then you do it again. You make a new plan and you do work, and that is a loop, right? And that's something most of us probably do naturally, right? Maybe we're not very good at checking, maybe we're not very good at adjusting, but if you keep getting paid, you're probably okay at doing some work, right? I don't have time to learn new things because I'm too busy getting things done. When you find organizations that are kind of stuck in 2004, it's because they've been doing work that whole time, right? It's not that they didn't do anything for a decade. They did work the whole time. What double loop learning introduces is this idea that in the planning itself, there's assumptions. There's some model that you have about how the world works that allows you to make a plan that you believe, in your heart of hearts, will help you accomplish your goal. And you do that work and you adjust, but the model might be wrong, right? So what do you do to explicitly revisit the model that you have in your head about doing the work that you're doing so that you could do it better next time, right? And in some ways, a lot of the organizational learning, although it's a little more detailed and a little more complicated, really just comes back to what are the processes and structures and the methods to get better at adjusting the model that we have so that it's better. Because if the model's closer to the reality, hopefully our plan will work this time, right? Has anyone ever read statistics about IT projects that all fail? Something like 66% of IT projects are considered failures. Why do you think that is? Well, one of the things I believe now is that the plan was made by people who were simply wrong. There were so many bad assumptions in that plan from the beginning, had no chance of succeeding, right? With respect to the time, with respect to the resources, with respect to the capabilities of the organization, or even the capabilities of the technology, right? Who's ever been on the project like that? It's like the first day you saw it as a technologist, you're like, no fucking way. Nuh-uh. And that's like the next 2 years, right? It's planned out. This happens. This is happening right now. So this is maybe a little bit too much, to tell your boss what you're doing for the next hour. But there's a quote from Einstein that I'm fond of, and that is that if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions, right? So what he's essentially arguing here is that if I can get the best possible underlying model, if I can get the best possible underlying understanding of what I'm actually trying to solve, then the chance that I solve it or the chance I'll get a good solution is better. That's my interpretation. And the thing that I'd want kind of everyone in this room to understand is, it's like you have so much opportunity to work on interesting things, right? And you have a global, this is what DevOps means to me. Yeah, we're optimizing things with software, but it's also a global community of practice, right? There's a bunch of hard problems that I could solve a lot faster than a lot of people, not because I'm smart. I am pretty smart, but that's another thing. But because I can also get people to respond to me. And I know those people, right? And